We're going to talk about the range to method and the in operator that gets used with this method. All right, so we're starting to have a little fun with Kotlin. And this range to method is used for easy identification of numbers or characters within a specified range. For example, instead of making 10 different definitions for numbers from 1 to 10, we could make a single definition using the range to method. Or, instead of making separate definitions for all letters from the letter A to the letter Z, we could do this with a single definition just by using the range to method. Okay, so why don't we have a look at the range to statement? So, as with most things, there's a couple of different ways that we can use the range to method. So in the first case, after defining the variable, we must write the initial value of the range that we're going to define. Makes sense? Then we have to use the range to method. And then finally, we must write the ending value of the range that we are defining in parentheses. Now for the second case, we'll need to use two dots next to each other instead of the range to method. But of course, you can use either of these two methods. They both are very handy and they both work the same way. Well, they work in different ways, but you'll see what I mean. All right, so remember earlier I mentioned the in operator? So the in operator is also used with a range to method. But by using the in operator, you can find out if a desired value is in the range that you specify. So, if you have a look at the example here, we pass all letters from A to Z into the variable named myChar_range, okay? Also pay attention to this. The letters A and Z are included in this range. All right. Okay, so let's find out if the letter K is in this range just by using the in operator. So if the letter K exists in this range, the variable myChar is true. If not, it'll be false. All right? So that's the quick and dirty of the range to operation. So let's just move on to Android Studio and you'll see how to use it in practice. So first, I'll create a Kotlin file. Right-click on the package name, select the new Kotlin file option. And after selecting the file option here, I'll determine the file name. We're going to call it range. After hitting the enter key, I've got to create the main method. So I'll write main, select the main A option here, hit enter, and thusly, the main method gets created. Okay, so let's create a variable called myChar_range. Let's transfer the letters from the letter A to the letter J to this variable. So I'll write A between single quotation marks. So for this example, I'm going to use the range to method. And you can do this by using two dots next to each other if you want. I'm going to write J in parentheses, again in single quotation marks. Now, of course, the reason we use single quotes here is because the char data type likes it that way. That's the way you use the char data type. What are you looking at me for? So if you are going to perform an integer data type operation, for example, if you're going to transfer a range from 1 to 10, for instance, you do not need to use single quotes. You must write 1 for the start value and 10 for the end value. All right? Yeah, you get it? So now let's define a variable called myChar. So what we're going to do is check to see if the letter K is in the myChar_range variable that we defined in the previous line. So for this, we need to use the in operator. So I'm typing K in myChar_range here. The variable myChar will be true if this range contains the letter K, otherwise false. Now let's print the myChar variable to the console. I type S out, press enter. And I'll write myChar_range has K in parentheses between double quotes. And myChar after the plus sign. Now let's run the code. Expected result would be seeing our value false in the console. And there you have it. There is the value false in the console. Because there is no letter K between the letters A through J, right? Anyway, now let's change the ending value of the range and make it K. And run the code again. Okay, so as you see, there is now a true value on the console. All right, so that is how the range2 method and using the in operator get used in Kotlin. Now, I didn't show you in this particular example, but we will be using them mostly in the for loop operations. Well, we're not going to get to those until a little bit later, but in any event, you'll see how it actually reinforces your knowledge rapidly. All right, so we're going to take a short break here. I want to see you in the next video because we've got a lot to do. Yeah, because now the fun's going to begin. So I'll see you in the next video.